First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Let me get Jay in here, the flight attendant, who is... Are you traveling right now, or are you home, Jay?
No, I'm actually in between Syracuse and Utica. The flight last night ended up getting canceled because end of March we closed our Miami base, and the flight attendant was commuting in from Miami. The plane got diverted to Richmond, Virginia.
Wow.
They took off, and the plane got diverted to Atlantic City. So, unfortunately, you had 60-plus passengers in the terminal overnight waiting for the 6 a.m. flight this morning
Wow.
to get to Syracuse. So I tell people I like what I do, so it's never a long day. A long day is when you wake up and hate going to work, and then when you get home from work, you hate the person you're with. That's a long day.
You're absolutely right. That's a very long day.
And a long life.
Yeah, and a long life. Yeah, good point. Now, do you, though, on a day like today where you know those passengers have been sitting in there all night long in those chairs,
yes.
And do you worry a bit that everybody's going to be a bit grumpy?
Probably, and since I'm still in uniform, you avoid them.
Yeah, okay, all right.
This is your fault, person who has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Correct, because I'm in uniform, yes.
Right, okay, very good. So are you guys having the same problem that every other company seems to be having around the country and really around the world, I guess, and that is you can't find employees?
What's interesting is we have had the flight attendants who were in class last year when the COVID hit and they stopped the classes.
Yeah.
So there's only been classes of 20 flight attendants because this is over a year later that they're calling them back. And interestingly enough, like I said, so we closed our Miami base at the end of March because American Airlines decided to do the flying to their own regional. So again, with the person yesterday trying to get to work, can't get to work. So we're short flight attendants. So my airline is offering what they call red pay, which is paying you double to show up for work and will must ride you to work. They're desperate. So I'm actually picking up trips next month, and I'm getting paid twice as much as I normally do. Plus, they're must riding me to LaGuardia to make sure I get there in time.
Wow. So let me ask. So you're going to be flying out of LaGuardia, not Syracuse?
Well, I commute out of Syracuse. I'm based at LaGuardia, yes.
I see. Okay, got it. So do you fly down to LaGuardia, or you have to drive down to LaGuardia? Sorry.
I drive to Syracuse, and I hop on a plane from Syracuse to LaGuardia, and when I come home like I'm doing now, I fly from LaGuardia to Syracuse and drive to Utica.
Okay, all right, interesting. So I just had this woman that was giving advice on flying, and she said, don't wait in that line when they're calling you to, and each airline is different. Some, they line you in a group. Others, you have assigned seats. And as they're boarding the plane, she says, wait for everybody to board, then you board. I would say that's great advice, unless you have to stow away something in the overhead cabin.
Exactly, because if you wait till the end, there may not be any overhead space. Then you have to check your bag, and then when the gate agent comes down, is there room for any other bags? As I tell my fellow flight attendants, it all comes down to us. Everyone does their job, but it all comes down to the flight attendant.
Yep. Okay, very, very interesting.
Well, don't tell the pilot that.
Yeah. Well, you think about who you have contact with, right? And then what about the craziness that's going on? I'm sure you saw the story about the flight attendant that just lost 2 teeth.
Yeah, this is what the story is. Now, I've had a lot of jobs, and I used to substitute teach. And, when you substitute teach and you're teaching a elementary school class, okay?
Yep.
You're taller than them, okay? So they look up to you, all right? When you're and you have these passengers already,
we're losing them, darn it.
They're looking up at you, and you don't like to be looked down at.
Right.
So these people, for some reason, you can ask them politely, which I always do, as I explained to you the last time I talked with the couple with the elderly mother.
Right.
who had Alzheimer's and wasn't wearing a mask.
Yes,
They needed to wear the mask. And, well, the mask that they had irritated her face. I gave her the paper mask, and she wore it the entire flight. I'm not kicking out someone who's elderly and has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
There's other flight attendants who become the police officer on the plane, and they have this power, and before you know it, it escalates, and, that's what happens.
It does seem like there are the people who de-escalate, and there are those who are loving the fact that they have the power to impose that power on someone else.
Yeah,
and oftentimes
absolutely.
that does go that goes the wrong. Think of all the escalations that could have been avoided, whether it's on a plane or off a plane, if you would just try to figure out a way to find a little common ground, I guess.
Yeah, and it's at least 90%, Bill. I mean, it's like how who has a 2-year-old child who can't put the mask on is nothing. I mean, but there's other flight attendants who have. They go up to the flight deck, and the captain comes back and kicks the family off.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like there's no there is no leeway anymore. There's no patience anymore. If you cross the line, you're off the plane.
Yeah, well, except if I'm the flight attendant.
Right.
I make sure that we get it resolved.
All right.
As one of my instructors said when I was with Allegheny in 2002, avoid paperwork at all costs.
That's the way to do it. All right. Jay, we appreciate it. We'll do this again. Thank you.
Sounds good. Have a great day, guys.
All right. Safe
care,
travels.
Yep, thanks.